Please welcome to the stage Thomas Rind. Tom Rind. To be casual.
It's Thomas. Hi, I was the one who was cheering the racism in the summer. How's everyone doing? How's it? We good? Yeah! Woo! I've been seeing a lot of infectious diseases on the news. Yeah. A lot of diseases are becoming resistant to antibiotic penicillin, which is bad because before penicillin, what's your name?
Greg.
If Brandon got syphilis, if Brandon got syphilis, we would treat Brandon with syphilis with malaria because the malaria got you so sick it killed the syphilis. Imagine if you just went to your doctor because you spilled coffee on yourself, and to treat you, he lit you on fire and then gave you syphilis. It wouldn't work well. I'm actually allergic to penicillin. I'm also allergic to sulfa-based medicines, and I'm allergic to bubble bath, which is really annoying because I'm allergic to 2 life-saving medicines and a sensual afternoon. I bathe in the afternoon. It's when the sun is highest, and so are my spirits. This is my impression of a man who just lost his daughter. Honey, where are you? Oh, that's right, heaven. The joke there is that at first he's like, oh no, my daughter's dead. But then you realize, oh wait, she's not. But then you're like, oh wait, she is. That is what we call the movie The Sixth Sense. They don't call me Tommy Two Shoes at all. I need a spare shirt. Anyone have a spare shirt? Anyone? I'm a Banana Republic adult small or a Gap Husky youth. Shirts say a lot about a person. For instance, clothes say a lot about. A shirt will say, I'm not a nudist, or I'm ashamed of my body. A tank says, I want to show you my body, but I'm not a nudist. A trench coat says, I'm not a nudist. Yet. I see a lot of weird things walking home from work. Not nudists, but a lot of weird things. And I was passing by a bench, and underneath it had some bottles of yellow liquid. And it was gross, because, it was pee. And it was really gross. But I just want to know, who's considerate enough to not pee on the streets? But weird enough to just show it off. That's like when I put on clothes to go outside, but those clothes are just assless chaps. Also, I get he's not peeing on the streets, but he's still technically littering, which is worse. Because if you pee on the streets, that's air for 10 hours tops. If you pee in a plastic bottle, that's there in a landfill for 10 years. Yeah, I was passing by another time work, and I passed by a playground, and it was just full of mirth. The kids, they were full of glee and mirth. They were so happy. And as I was passing them, there was a little girl in a swing, just extremely happy. And at the apex of her swing, as I'm passing by, she just shouts, with mirth, I'm too young to die. Which was adorable, but wrong. You're never too old for some imagination. You're never too young to die. And kids, we don't tell them about death because it's really hard, because I don't want to tell a kid they're going to die. And if a kid's pet dies, we won't say, hey, your pet died. We'll say, it ran away, because it's easier to say, hey, kid, your hamster's in Disney World, than to say, hey, kid, help me bury your friend. Yeah. I've met a few weird kids that are okay with death. I was in Boston Common, and a little kid comes up to me and hands me a pamphlet, then runs away. And on the pamphlet, it said, heaven or hell, you decide. And it had a little earth on the front with half of it burning and the other half just normal, which is hell to some people. And I open it up, and at the top it says, the first thing you should know is that you will never go to heaven. So choice made. You know, like, thank God I didn't have to make that. Literally. Yeah, I just want to know why I even asked at that point. Because if someone asks you if you want Coke or Pepsi, and, you know, let's say you say Coke, they respond with, screw you, here's a moist bowl of rice, burn in hell. There was no choice made. I'm used to being disrespected by children, though. I was a youth soccer ref for the youths. And the standard they held us to was you had to take a 10-hour course and 100-question exam. And one of the questions, and it haunts me to this day, was, according to Ref Magazine, which whistle should you buy? A Fox 40 Superforce, an ACMi Thunderer with a silicone grip, a brass one, or a good one? And the most surprising thing about that question was that there is a Ref Magazine. And it's doing better than any of us. I wanted a job that was outside, which is why I became a ref. But I also wanted to be yelled at by moms. I didn't like being a ref, though, because I didn't like decision-making. And coaches didn't like me decision-making. So eventually I left and I got a real job. To do this, I had to beat out other people. And I beat them out, basically, through interviewing and all that jazz and stuff. And when I got the call saying I got it, he goes, Tom, I'm going to be real honest. You were by far the least qualified. But the most enthusiastic. You got it. And I was like, yeah, what? It felt like I just got a participation trophy. And everyone else got first place, pats on the back. Those people lost to the guy who, during the interview, said he could probably eat 12 egg rolls. The guy just asked me, hey, what would you do in an unexpected situation? And I was like, I could probably eat 12 egg rolls. And it worked. I hope they called up the losers and said, hey, we've decided to lower our standards. Yeah, at one point, they needed someone to clean a closet, and I was like, something I'm qualified for. And so I was cleaning it, and I found a passenger side door to a Bentley. And a Bentley is a very luxurious car. One passenger side door to a Bentley is worth about 5 Tom Rinds. I am Tom Rind. Working for a company that owned a passenger side door to a Bentley is the closest I've been to a Bentley. And I have a question. Does anyone here know what makes a Subaru a Subaru? Because if it's anything like a Bentley, it's not the door. So when I asked why they had it, they said, oh, in case we need it. And I was like, yeah. But in my mind, I was like, what? Because I could see someone having a flat tire or a flat battery, but no one's going to come in and be like, hey, I'm missing the passenger side door to my car. Do you have a spare? It's a Bentley. That's the thing. It works for one make-year model. If I carried around an iron lung waiting for someone with polio to come up to me, you know how long that would take? There are 0 cases of polio in the U.S. You know how many cases of missing the passenger side door to the Bentley are in the U.S.? Definitely 1. Yeah, last Saturday, I was hanging out with the Harlem Globetrotter Wikipedia page. And on there, I found out there are only 9 honorary Harlem Globetrotters. And out of that, there's 1 sportscaster, 1 athlete, 2 political figures, 3 religious figures, 1 comedian, and 1 Whoopi Goldberg. 2 out of the last 3 popes have been on the Harlem Globetrotters. We've had more popes on the Harlem Globetrotters than minorities and women as U.S. presidents. Says a lot about us as a country, but also says we've had some pretty rad popes. I hope, like, I would pay so much to just see, like, these honorary members play a game. Like, if they called them when the regular members were sick, like, Bubblegum Pop is sick, what are we going to do? Let's call Henry Kissinger. Henry Kissinger was the first. And to follow that up, they're like, okay, we got to get someone of equal caliber, so they got Whoopi Goldberg. They're very different people. If this was a high school kickball team or an elementary school kickball team, because a high school wouldn't have a kickball team, it'd probably be like their first pick would be like a janitor with an eye patch. And their second pick would be a VHS copy of Sister Act. Whoopi Goldberg and Henry Kissinger are very different people. Like, Whoopi Goldberg's a strong, independent woman actress. She was in The Color Purple, Sister Act, The View. Henry Kissinger was in Nixon's Secretary of State. People have a lot of opinions about him. Whoopi Goldberg bombed in theaters with Theodore Rex, where she played a detective with a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Henry Kissinger bombed Cambodia, where he bombed Cambodia. You know, I think, like, people talk about that a lot, and I think it's very, very tough to put an opinion on it because it's a very complicated situation, and, you know, people were forced into it. And if I was in that situation, I also would have done Theodore Rex. It's a good movie. Yeah. There's one more political figure on the Harlem Globetrotters. Does anyone know who it is? Yeah, I know you know, Caitlin. It's Nelson Mandela, but he can't play because he is dead. Oh, okay. I can't make a chimichanga. I can't make a quesadilla. I can't make a meringue. But I can make a mean man regret his words. Thank you. I'm Tom Rind.